What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, the uncrowned Otaku. Latest chapter of Kengan Omega dropped, and I feel like I haven't talked about it on this channel in like a month. My bad, but it's really getting good again because now we're in a tournament of kings arc to determine who's the best of the best to fight the connector, which it really ain't gonna matter because nobody's beating the connector. This man literally said, in order to live longer, I'm just gonna stop breathing as much because every breath you take, you age. If I take less breaths, I'll age less. And he did it, and he's still him. Remember when he fought Gaomukaku? And Gaomukaku was like, this whole room is poisoned. How is he not being affected? He hasn't taken a single breath since he stepped into the room. That's proof. But that has nothing to do with this chapter, because this chapter was the Gentle King, I think his name was Arashiyama Jirota, versus like the what was he called? The Thai boxing god, or the god of war, Kowloon. Can't pronounce his last or first name. Yeah, Kowloon. That's what he is right now. So it's the hard style versus the soft style of hard style of boxing, Muay Thai versus the soft style of judo. And this is a perfect instance of transit of properties does not always compute when it comes to people and individuals. Because if we remember, Kowloon in the original King and Ashura tournament, or I guess the show, but the original tournament was, I forgot what it was even called. He lost. There's a motorcycle outside that's destroying me. He lost to Agito, Kano, the fifth fang of Metsudo. But Arashiyama, the judo dude, recently just beat Kano. So you would think if he beat Kano, who beat Kowloon, he beats Kowloon. Because 1 + 1 is equaling 2, right? That's not what happens with people, especially with fighters who use different techniques. Because we can see, and also the fact that they've also evolved since each fight. But it was really tough because Kowloon, he was using his jabs effectively. He switched to Muay Thai, started integrating the kicks as well. But with Arashiyama, one throw is all it takes to change the game. And he was literally waiting for Kowloon to throw his finishing blow. The glowing punch, I think it was called. And when he throws it, he catches his arm and he goes for that throw. And he finna finish this dude. Bam! He finna one slam him. You know, One Punch Man, this is one slam, man. He finna concuss him when he hit that concrete. But Kowloon was also already imagining that, hey, he's gonna counter me, so let me counter his counter. So while Kowloon, and this is crazy to think about while it's happening in real time. You know how fast a swing takes? Imagine somebody's doing this. You throw a punch, right? Imagine I go, bow, and I just slam. You see how fast that is? That's a bow. Literally like 2, maybe 5 seconds. Ah! Kowloon, in between here, he caught his arm. Right about here when he's swinging him over, he brings his knee and drops it right on the back of homie's head. First of all, dangerous. Never ever actually do that unless you're fighting for your life. Because I feel like hitting anybody in the back of the head, well, it's illegal in most sports. But especially like a knee and an elbow, oh, you finna end somebody. You finna really go for the lifetime KO. So be careful with that. Art shouldn't always imitate life in this instance. But when he hits that knee, Kowloon still takes the slam. But after the slam is done, Arashiyama is laid out on the floor, just drooling. Yeah. Ain't no way you coming back from that. So all of that is to say, just because Arashiyama beat Kano doesn't mean that he was going to beat Kowloon, because Kowloon won. So now Kowloon's looking at Kano like, hey, I've always wanted that rematch. We finna run it. Make it to the finals. And Kano was looking at Arashiyama like, I want my rematch with you. But I guess that's not going to happen in this tournament because you out cold. But man, Kengan Omega, it's getting really good again. Again, though, right now, this tournament is only like the top kings of each underground organization. They're all fighting to see who's going to fight the connector. Because really, it's like the stake of the world is at. The fate of the world is on the line here. If the connector wins, well, we know what the connector wants, but we don't know what the worm is going to do when the connector gets what he wants. So that's like the mystery here. But this whole tournament, did y'all see the roster they announced? All fire competitors. There's a couple people missing, but overall, yeah, this and again, whoever wins this tournament, like again, they're not gonna fight. They're not gonna compete with the connector. They're gonna get one punch. The only people that can compete with the connector, legit, Kuroki Gensai, Oma, because he's training with Kuroki right now. Oma can compete. I don't think Ryuki will get where he needs to be. I don't think Kogo will get there. So yeah, just those two. Maybe Kano? No, not even Kano. I don't even think he can get there. Kuroki and Oma. Those are your two hopes to even try to come close to banging with the connector, but that's still, like I said, a long shot. And And while we're talking Kengan Omega, let's also talk about this upcoming Kengan versus Baki. Whenever we do a verse of two universes, it's kind of never really an actual versus because no creator wants to see their creation lose to somebody else's. So I'm already predicting some BS is going to happen where there's a third faction that gets involved, and the Baki and the Oma and the Kengan team are going to have to team up to fight that third factor. Because if it is legit a straight up fight between the two universes, which mangaka is like, yeah, my people are going to lose? That's cool. It makes sense. It would have to Kengan, like, I'm going to be honest with you, Kengan don't stand a chance. Kengan legit don't stand a chance. Everybody in Baki is OP. Baki's gonna body Oma. And also, that's not fair, because if you're doing Kengan Ashura, Kengan Omega has a way more leveled up Oma and way more leveled up Kure Ryan, so we're already like handicapping the Kengan team by not giving them manga feeds. But with the Baki team, I feel like the Baki anime is close to, if not current with the manga. But if it's not current, it's close enough where all his big feats, they're already there. So yeah, nobody in the Kenganverse can accept the connector. But nobody besides the connector is touching Baki. Nobody in the Kengan universe is touching the Yujiro. Who else they got? Doppo Orochi. There might be some people that can fight with him, but that you can't say clearly who would win. Big Boss Yakuza dude, he's too durable. I don't know. Well, maybe Kano could fight with him. It'll be a couple good fights, but I don't see how the Baki team, if it was a straight up battle, Baki's soloing. Honestly, Baki and his dad, like, what y'all gonna do to him? Yes. If we get Pickle involved, what y'all gonna do to him? Potential spoilers, I don't know how far the Baki anime is. But if we get Musashi Miyamoto involved, what y'all gonna do to him, Kengan? I'm saying the Baki verse too tough right now. If we were to give him a manga feast, the Kengan verse could then start to compete a little more, especially with the introduction of the connector and Zia Yu, I think, the current leader of the Worm, and Kure, where he is in the manga currently, then we could be talking. But right now, Baki team's gonna wash. But again, like I said, no mangaka, no creator in general wants to see his work lose to anybody else's work, so I would bet all my money. If I was a betting man, I would bet the house that a third party gets involved and they're both going to team up against a bigger bad that intervenes. That's my 2 cents on the whole thing. Will I watch it? Of course. It's going to be a fire watch. Why wouldn't I? I just know how these things tend to play out. But all of that's just me talking and rambling. On Crown Kingdom, what do y'all think? How did you like the latest chapter of Kengan Omega? Where you leaning at in this Kengan versus Baki that's about to come up? Get in them comments. I'm in there with y'all. And as always, on Crown Kingdom, I've been your boy, the Uncrowned Otaku. That's the fire that keeps the kingdom burning safely. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace, bros. Peace, 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 peace.